Hello. Sorry to bother you. Can I ask you a slightly odd question?
Yeah, sure.
I'm making a podcast called Strangers on a Bench, where essentially I talk to people I don't know on benches for 10 or 15 minutes. Are you up for that? Do you want to give it a go?
Why am I nervous all of a sudden?
Because it's just, it's this terrifying proposition, talking to a stranger on a bench. No, because it's just life, and it's all possible. You ready?
I'm ready.
Great. Do you have a favourite day of the week?
Not really, no. I guess Friday, but it kind of is meaningless because I work any day, so I think that's just ingrained left over from school.
Yeah. Okay, let's imagine a Friday.
Okay.
You have complete freedom. You don't have to work. Mm-hmm. How would you spend that day? What for you represents a really good day spent on Earth on that Friday?
I'm in the very fortunate minority where I love my job. So realistically, probably a day.
Doing the job.
Probably doing the job. I mean, it's a fucking slog. Am I allowed to swear?
Just have.
Okay. Well, I've done it now.
And you've done it now, and you are allowed to swear.
Okay. Yeah, it is a fucking slog, but...
The job?
Yeah.
Right, but you like a slog. Love a slog?
I would feel like it was a day well spent. I think if I was left to my own devices, I probably would sleep in.
You just rot away. You wouldn't know what to do.
No, I mean, what I usually do, to be fair, is that this is my favourite place in London. So...
This particular bar? This particular bench?
Not even this bench.
Is it dedicated to you?
It's not actually.
No.
But it's, I have made it known that when I die, I will be getting a bench here. Yeah.
All right, so you're always on benches here?
I am usually in this park doing a crossword on my day off. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well, let's do a day off. So far we know you like doing crosswords in the park.
Yeah.
But if you take me from waking up, what time?
Okay. Well, so basically, I don't wake up at a normal time. I'm actually waiting to get a sleep study done because shift work has slightly ruined my circadian rhythm. So today I woke up at 2 p.m. and then I was like, shit, there's sunshine, must seize the day.
Oh, you woke up at 2 p.m.
Yeah,
today?
so I ran out of the house, go to a little bakery and get my coffee. I go to the same place every day, which is kind of nice. I like it. It's like little community. And then...
Do they know you?
Yeah. And then...
How much do you know about them? First name terms?
First name terms, yeah. Quite a lot of people have just left. so I haven't met the next gen yet.
Yeah. Was that a sad moment when they left?
It is kind of, yeah, because it's just, I tend to go to the same places always because I like building relationships with people.
It is nice to build relationships with
people.
I
don't
How does one do
it? Plan, I just go on vibes.
What are the tactics?
It's really it's hard to get me to shut the fuck up. To be honest, I feel like I'm more just subjecting people to my personality, and then eventually they'll lose stamina and think, Jesus, and probably fake that they need the toilet and leave.
The shop's closed.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me.
Is that how people actually do react to you? No, they don't.
I don't think to my face, no, but I feel like I probably...
What do people not like about you, do you think?
I think people can find me too much.
Really?
Yeah. But I feel like...
Is that their problem, though?
Yeah, then go find less.
Exactly.
It used to bother me a lot as a kid. I was always told I was too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, by who? Everybody?
Everybody. But then I got diagnosed with ADHD like a year ago, so it all sort of made sense. And then I was like, oh, I am too much, but it's clinical, so you can't be mean.
Yeah. What did it do to your kind of general spirit to be constantly told you're too much? I mean, looking at you now, it doesn't look like it's been overly dampened. No. But maybe it has.
No, I feel like out of pettiness, I will continue to be too much and quite annoying.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
When was the last time even you were considered I really did go too hot and heavy there?
Probably earlier today. I woke up and I was really excited that the sun was shining. My flatmate at the moment is visiting her parents, so she's got somebody subletting. who, luckily this girl is lovely and I really get on with her, but I like bounced into the kitchen when I saw the sun had come out and was like dancing, and I think she was a bit shell shocked. Maybe I'm just a small dose person. That's really all you need, just like a line. You just need a little
question.
bump of my
What one
personality.
question would, if I only could have had one question, what one question should I have asked you?
That is such a confusing question.
So if
What question would I want you to ask
No,
me?
yeah.
Isn't that your job? Why am I coming up with the questions for you?
No, but like,
what would be a good
what would be
question?
like the kind of, what would really kind of arrow in?
What is a good question to ask me? I don't know, because as soon it'll be in one ear and then something else will pop in, and so the question is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. Let's go back a bit. So you woke up at 2 p.m. because
Yeah.
you were doing what in the night?
I just couldn't get to sleep until like 5.
Oh, right. Why?
I don't know, but I've got an appointment with a sleep doctor, so we're going to find out
Sounds
soon.
like they're going to have their work cut
Yeah,
out.
I think so.
5. What were you doing? Like, so it's like, let's say at like 4 a.m.
Just fannying about.
But what?
I'm watering the plants, I'm folding laundry, I don't know.
So you weren't even trying to get to sleep?
No, I mean, I try, and then I'm like, oh, this is just ludicrous. And then I get up, and then I'm like, maybe I'll get bored if I sort of potter around. I've sort of accidentally become a bit nocturnal.
Is your job in the night?
Sometimes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes it's at night.
Sometimes it's at night.
Like a nurse or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you are a nurse?
No, I'm a midwife.
You know what?
What? The way you said that was really like, and then you just, no follow up. What?
You're about the you're towards the 300 of these.
Okay.
Done a lot of talking to the benches. First midwife.
Represent.
Respect.
Yeah. It's in the trenches, I tell you what.
A lot of babies need to leave.
Lot
a lot of babies to come out.
They talking a lot about this decline in birth rates. I don't know what the people of South London have been doing, but it is not apparent where I work. People do be fucking. It was clearly just a long rainy summer, and I tell you what.
I mean, I now have obviously like a lot of questions. I'm now annoyed that it's like not 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
What are we going to do when it gets dark? I'm going to have more questions.
To be fair, you can actually roll under the gate over there.
Really?
Yeah, if you're small.
Roll under?
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap.
Like a rat. Well, let's see how
What
we get...
I wouldn't do is try and climb over those ones by the front, because you will fall in a bin and end up getting injured. So,
At least I'll be with a midwife.
yeah.
There's a nice kite.
Yeah.
That's pretty. What a nice, pleasant thing to do.
No, and I have a kite that my best friend and I bought specifically to come and fly it, and then we just
Never
forgot.
did. Yeah. I would say like 83% of kites, that's the story.
I don't know
You've
where.
got to bring it out.
Yeah.
This is the sign.
We need a good windy
this
day.
the sign?
Maybe that's what I'll do
This
on the
is the sign.
weekend. Yeah.
Okay, midwife.
Yeah.
What are people not focusing enough about midwifery? What are people forgetting about?
To be honest, if I've got a captive audience, I don't need them to ask questions. It's so bad. I'm so passionate about it, they don't really need to ask a question.
Okay, tell me why you're passionate about it.
I don't know. To me, it's kind of like how I imagine a nun feels when they're like called to the abbey, except I've just been like called to the fanny, basically. I just know this is what I was put here to do. Like this is.
When did you
what
know
I'm here
you were
for.
put here to do that? I mean, when
As soon as I found out it was a job, I was always obsessed with like pregnancy and birth. I was like, always used as a kid was like staring at pregnant women. I just couldn't get over that there
Well,
was
it's
like a baby.
fascinating. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I like knew how I was born. I remember always asking my friends like, so how were you born? And they didn't know. And I was like, what do you mean? You haven't interrogated your mum about this? And so then I found out that there was actually a job. And then I was like, well, yeah, jobs are good and that's what I'll do then.
And so that's amazing. And then I think that's honestly like the dream life, when you just come across something you know you want to do and you then just go and do
I'm very lucky. I mean, statistically, it's probably going to take 10 years off my life and ruin my lower back. But There's not much to be done about that.
No, but it's going to give you so much.
Yeah. I think being a midwife is kind of like being in an abusive relationship.
Right.
You're not in it for the money.
With the system.
Yeah, with the system, basically.
Yeah.
It's terrible for your health. It's not very good for your mental health.
Yeah.
It's not there looking out for you. You are replaceable. They don't care if you're sick. They don't care if we're meant to be 5 and there's only 3 of us and you're now responsible for 18 lives when it should be 3. But it's so magical, you can't not do it.
I'm going to do a weird thing, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm quite cold, but I have this shirt for later because I'm
Well,
going to a
put
different thing. But
the
I'm just going to
shirt
put it.
on.
I'm just going to put it on me like a scarf. Is that okay?
I did the exact same
oh
thing.
my god!
I was going to
But now I'm, now, now
do
but
the same
But
thing.
now I'm going to look completely ridiculous. I've
Well,
got,
at least we'll look ridiculous together.
I've
It's
got like
fine.
a scarf on. That's a shirt.
I don't want
Does
to
it?
cover the mic.
I mean, yours is
Mine
a scarf.
is a thermal top. It's
mean,
actually my mum's old pajama top that I have
Amazing.
just shoved.
What
in
do you
the
know
bag.
about your own birth?
Oh my god, disaster! My poor mum. It was like 36 hours.
Oof.
Got to 9 centimeters. Category 1 emergency section.
Oh shit!
That my dad nearly missed because there weren't mobile phones and he was on crutches and had left the hospital to go and do something.
Oh, so you hobbled towards sea.
Yeah,
with the first
and it
one.
was like a disaster. My parents didn't think they were going to be able to get pregnant, and so then when they did, the doctors were like, this isn't going to stick. So they sort of just kept waiting for me to like die, and then I lived.
And also, you are particularly like alive.
I am
You're like
full of beans.
You know. Then not only that, then you're here like delivering life all the time.
Yeah,
Life delivers life, just relentlessly.
got to pay it forward. This is really my ideal day out, to be honest. Somebody just come and talk to me about my job.
It's your dream. This is
This
great.
is it.
Let's live your dream.
Yeah,
Okay, let's riff through some midwife questions. 1, for you, the most magical one that stands out. If I had to say, like, if one that jumps out
it's
as like
got
the
the first one.
Of
Is,
course, yeah.
is like you've got to do 40 to qualify, 40 catches. They have to be spontaneous vaginal delivery, so
How
not.
it catches.
Yeah,
No, they
that's
call
what
it.
they're called.
Is that a technical term?
Yeah,
How often is it an actual catch?
not often because you can't count cesareans, you can't count
okay, okay.
forceps, you can't count the suction cup. And as it's becoming more medicalised, which is a whole other issue, it's becoming rarer and rarer and a lot harder for student midwives to get their catches in.
So you've got 40 catches.
Yeah. Yeah, my
So
first one
Tell me about the
was
first one.
magical. It was, well, I know the exact date actually.
Say it.
I got it
Oh, it's
tattooed.
okay.
It was the day after Valentine's Day in 2022, and it was a really cool gay couple, and they had had students the whole way along their fertility journey, and everybody helping them conceive, it had been their first time doing the procedure. And then they got to me and they found out this would be my first delivery. So they were so excited for me.
Oh, wonderful.
And it was just magical. And I like got home and I don't think I slept that night. I sat on another park bench actually and was just like, oh my God, I've just seen life. I don't think I will ever get over it. It's like this bump that you're feeling and their arms and legs are like kicking you off and like, you know, you're doing these examinations, you can feel if they've got hair and then suddenly there's like a whole human being. I'll just never get over it.
What is the bit of it that really gets you? Like, or is it just the whole thing?
I think it's probably when you put the baby on their chest, and usually the women sort of dissociate for about 5 minutes, and you watch them look down and realise what they've done, and they're looking at you like, did that just happen? And I'm like, well, you did it. I think that's my favourite bit. Because it's like you watch them leave to another dimension for a little bit, and then you watch them come back, and then they're different. It's wild.
I remember that time when someone said to the mother of my children, like, you've done it, you did that. And that, you described that so beautifully, that dissociation moment.
Yeah. It's like you watch two people be born,
Yeah.
almost.
That's beautiful. What's the weirdest thing that someone shouted out to you? What I remember, so my second child was a home birth.
I love a home birth.
All I knew about the midwife was that she really liked her car,
Oh,
right? She actually was really late. She basically missed everything.
nice.
But I remember her just trying to park the car. And she did take ages
like,
park
somebody's
it.
gonna ding it.
Because I was like, I think because like second child, it was just, no one really gave a shit. It was like, whatever, it's coming out.
Oh,
Like,
it's gonna be fine.
so cash. Anyway, you get to see your partner in a state of like just otherworldliness, right? And I always remember the second child was born about 10 o'clock at night. I asked my partner, like, what time do you think it is after she had given birth? And she said, I don't know, I feel about like 5 in the morning, and it was like 10 at night. She was like, she was completely up. She was, you know, like she was entered into another dimension. But in that dimension, what comes out of people is like
Is wild.
wild.
Yeah.
There's anything that springs to mind.
I mean, I think home birth is different because there's less drugs. I definitely...
Gas and air.
There is gas and air. I've had women really like hit the gas and air hard.
Too hard?
I had one woman who like, she was freaking out and I was like, babes, have a bit of this. You pay your taxes. It'll do you. Just try it all.
Yeah.
And she went absolutely mental and tried to get her husband into bed with her. And I was like, honey, this is why you're in this situation.
Oh,
She
wow.
was like, baby, come here. She was like taking it. And I was like,
Oh.
no, this is not the time.
But don't they say what happens when you kiss and stuff? It releases certain
The
things.
oxytocin.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
can help or something.
Yeah, I
that
think
big?
usually that probably doesn't happen when there's like two midwives in the room.
Okay.
You know, I'm happy to just step into another room if you need to make that happen.
Yeah. I could already tell that you clearly are just. I just know you're brilliant at your job.
Thank you. I am.
Yeah, you can just tell. I just like.
I'm crap at everything
I
else.
I can just
I
tell,
know I'm
like,
good at my job.
I can tell because it's actually also, like, that person that's there for you at that time is so crucial. Like, I would be so pleased if I got you.
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, wow, I've just got really lucky there. Do you have any children?
No. No.
What does this all mean for you in having children?
I don't.
Who's
I
gonna be
don't
your
think
midwife?
I don't know. My mates.
Yeah. Of course they're
basically.
your mates,
Yeah.
of course. But,
So-
but how do you feel? So you're fascinated by birth, but you're not your own.
No, I've
Necessarily.
always had a lot of children in my life. I think started babysitting when I was like 13, and so have looked after most of the children on my street and watched them grow from like.
Most of them on your street.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My parents still live in the house that I grew up in, and so I've watched them all go from little babies to starting school to learning how to ride a bike and tie your shoes and try your first instrument and all that. So I feel like
You're a mother to a whole street. Is that what you're saying?
basically, I've always had loads
Street
of children
mum.
in my life,
Yeah.
and I'm a big sister as well.
But that doesn't really answer the question though.
What was the question?
You're not particularly interested in your own. Why are you not
I
particularly?
would love it, but I think what my job has made me realise is that it so has to be with the right person. The amount of times I watch people in real time realise that they've had babies with the wrong person is horrendous.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck,
And
as
I
in
watch
there
them
and
think,
then.
fuck.
Like, what do you mean? Like, can you give an example?
Just, I mean, I don't want to dog on the men because
Well, you can if you want.
I feel like birth can be as, if not more, traumatic for the partners, because when you're the birthing person, you're the one going through it, you're so focused on what's happening, the end result, you're so in the moment of what's happening.
Yeah.
But for your partner who's watching the person they love in immense pain, and there's absolutely nothing they can do to help really, or make it better, or make it go away,
Yeah.
you must feel so powerless. It must just be awful. But so many people, I think, there are other external factors that feel like, you know, I'm ready. It doesn't really matter if it's the right person. I just want the kid. But it's rare and it's transformational when you see a couple that it's people that are really connected. Often they've been together a long time first. They just know each other and they're there, and it's not a chore or an effort to be there for each other, and they're really a team, which is so rare.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me a percentage.
Like,
What are we talking?
maybe like 25% of the time.
1 in 4. Not a lot.
Well, sometimes I just think, oh, you're going to be an absolute disaster. I mean, all you're doing is complaining that you're tired and hungry and you don't want to do this. You know,
ever tell them
to
off?
the woman,
Do you tell
yeah.
them
There are times where I don't want to know, I'm really conscious that a lot of, and I'm stereotyping with heterosexual couples here, but a lot of men will leave a maternity ward feeling a bit dogged on and their confidence is a bit knocked because we don't have a lot of time or sympathy for them and their shit, basically.
Fair.
And boys are really sensitive. If I'm really dismissive, they lose their and that can be really make or break. So like I can remember once, it winds me up. I had this dad press the buzzer, and you know I've got like one woman trying to bleed out on me, like one baby's hypoglycemic, all this going on, and he's like, "Can you show me how to change the nappy?" And in my head, I was like, I'm gonna cry. This isn't a surprise. You've had 9 months. What do you mean you don't know how to change a nappy? There are pictures on the fucking Pampers box. What are you talking about? And then I sat there and I was like, okay. To me, this is really obvious and so stupid. To him, it's his first time changing his first baby's nappy. And he was scared to even pick up the baby. If I hype him up now, he's gonna be like, I can do this when we get home. She's not gonna be all by herself. So sometimes you have to, like, as much as you want to just like slap them, you need to be like, no, we've got to hype them up, because if they leave the hospital and they think, I know how to support my wife, I know how to like help her express breast milk, I know how to change her pads, I know how to burp this baby properly, and they feel like they can care for the baby independently, then I reckon they'll have a better chance.
That takes a lot of energy from you.
Yeah, that's why I wake up at like 4
rouse yourself to
PM.
to make sure the men are happy as well as everyone else.
Yeah, I think they tend to remember more of it than the women do. For the women, most of it is just a blur.
Yeah. Here's Kite Guy. Where is the kite though? It's over there.
It's in a crumpled heap. Oh, go on, mate.
Oh, he looks quite sweet.
I reckon he'd have better luck up there.
Should I tell him?
Yeah, let me go and mansplain how to do the kites.
Oh, it's really nice. He's got very painty trousers as well. He's been painting.
He's a snazzy dude.
You know, maybe that's the right one for you.
Maybe.
This is the moment.
Go write my number on his
think
kite.
Strike to At the moment you could, it's not going anywhere. Maybe the first number ever written on a kite in a kind of romantic sense.
You don't think people
Have you been
fly kites to get girls?
I don't know.
It doesn't scream Fanny Magnet, but who knows?
I can't imagine you talking to. I'm not trying to, obviously I'm here, I'm trying to assess who you are really, like, deep down. Like, I just can't really picture you talking to people now, like, just generally, like you with a friend. Can't picture it.
Don't have any. No, I'm joking.
I'm sure you've got loads. I'm just trying to think, I just can't really imagine.
This is what I'm like with most.
It's hard to picture. I can totally see you in the.
Can't picture you with friends.
I can see you.
My God.
No, I can. But what are you? What kind of? Who do you attract, like friend-wise?
I think they're great. I don't know. I don't really have a big group of friends.
Yeah.
I was always a bit more of a floater.
Are you a kind of a what I call a heavy A-team friender?
What does that mean?
So the system roughly goes. There's this anthropological thing. You can know 100. Like we can only really know 150 people. Like that's what our brains are capable of. Now, I like to break it down into A, B, C, D
Okay.
friends. So D is like just people you might just see, you know, kind of very casually, like colleagues or people at parties who you could have seen a couple of times. You vaguely know their name, but nothing else.
Yeah.
C, you like them, but you wouldn't have a kind of one-on-one thing with them, but they're like friendly enough.
Okay.
B team people are ones you would have a drink with them alone, meal or walk, whatever.
Yeah.
But APT people are your kind of like crisis ones, so like ones who you're kind of telling or you're like confiding in and telling
Yeah.
so like in a kind of consistent. Why did he do that?
What was that about?
I don't know. Maybe I think he's just trying to, you know,
Okay,
just trying to get your
panic.
attention.
I've lost my vape. Hang
Oh,
on.
no.
Hang on. Oh no, I found it.
Okay.
It was in my pocket.
It's all fine.
Sorry.
It's all great. You know what I realised this is like actually, talking to you, because I woke up really early this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a rare thing to talk to someone who essentially is kind of just woken up. It's like talking to someone on the other side of the world or something.
Yeah.
It's like you're in Australia.
I do feel like I'm jet lagged.
Yeah.
I quite like the night time though. I like feeling like I've got the world to myself.
Yeah. Well, obviously that's what you like. So maybe you just like a bit of peace.
I think that because my job is so sociable,
Yeah.
like especially at the moment I'm on the postnatal ward, so I have, on a day where we're not, I mean we're always understaffed, but on a day where we're not like badly understaffed, I'll have like 6 or 7 families that I come on to, and then some of them will be discharged and I'll get new ones throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I could have like 10, 15 families that I'm looking after for 13 hours that I need to trust me and that
That's a
I've
lot.
got there.
That's a lot. Of course you need. Of
So
course you
then
need
I'm
your.
like, I get home and I'm like, if anybody breathes in my direction, I will kick you in the balls.
Of course you need your plant time and your
Yes.
folding. Do you say folding? Is that just I
I
made
try
that
and
up?
fold things. Okay.
Then you're fine. But back to friends, sorry, because I said so you have.
Oh, yeah.
So, so now I've told you about my formation scenario. Does that make sense? So
Okay.
you've got some really like core
Yeah,
ones,
but they
not
don't
that many
all,
priffs.
Yeah, but they don't all necessarily know each other. I have like my one
each other.
best friend who I've known for, I think it'll be our 16-year anniversary this year.
Lovely.
I see him pretty much every day. We walk every evening.
That's nice. Do you walk at the same place to place to place, or you just walk around?
We have like our favourite little spots, and then we have our like pub that we go to that we call a local. It's like halfway between our houses.
Yeah.
And that's like a pub for all regulars. So like if I walk in by myself at any time during the day, I'll know half the people in there.
That's lovely.
So like I wouldn't say I have like loads of friends or like a big group of friends. I just other waifs and strays that I've picked up along the way.
That's lovely.
Yeah, but it's nice, like all ages.
Yeah.
One of my best mates is like just turned 68.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
May I just commend you? I think it's like a wonderful thing to have friends of all ages.
I think it's so important.
And silly, it's very, very rare, but it should be done way more. But talk about the 68-year-old, how you became friends, why it's important. Go.
Well, he's also a regular at the pub. My best friend and I met him, and then we do cryptic crosswords and he does cryptic crosswords. And so then we started doing cryptic crosswords together.
So sweet.
And then before we knew it, we were just really good friends. But I think it's so important because a lot of other cultures really have the intergenerational living down and they look after their old people and they live with their aged parents. I think in the UK, we have a bit more of a stick 'em in a home culture. But I think there's a lot to be said for being around people with a lot more life experience than you and sort of one removed from your parents also.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll be like, that's not worth worrying about. And then I'll be like, I guess you would know because you've been here a bit longer than I have. And for some reason, if my mum or dad said it, I'd be like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can you talk to me about crosswords?
Yeah. I love crosswords.
How does one get into it? I can just say, what's the gateway?
The gateway drug for me was the Metro because it's free.
Like all the best drugs.
Yes, exactly. And then I started doing the quick crossword, and then my best friend was like, that's embarrassing, do the cryptic like a grown-up. My dad's always done them, so he can help. I don't know, it's just a bit of a cult. Like once you get in,
Yeah. Do you have to do it every day?
yeah, for my soul.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you ever not complete it?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh, okay.
I'm not brilliant at them.
You're not a
I need to do something for my brain.
Okay. What
So-
happens to your brain otherwise?
The voices just get too much.
Do they? Do they? What is happening in there?
ADHD.
What is that like?
The only way I can explain it is it feels like I've got like 7 TVs on and they're all on a different channel at full volume at the same time.
Wow. Even, like so now.
Yeah. I can hear like sounds over there, sounds over there. I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about this, and I'm listening to their conversation and I'm wondering what that's about. And like, so I need to have something to dial into just for it to be a bit peaceful. Get a rest from myself. This is the problem. I find myself annoying too, but everyone else can just leave. I'm like stuck here forever.
Everyone else can just leave.
Sometimes I think, oh, a little coma, that would be lush, just for a couple of days. Do you know what I mean? Or like if a lobotomy was reversible, just for like a week off.
God, yeah. I mean, just so it needs to be as exciting as delivering a baby, really, to kind of get you through. Maybe just do more exciting things.
I do. I'm a bit random. I do quite a lot of stupid, spontaneous things.
Oh, fantastic. Last one of note.
Like 18 months ago, finished my training, went on a 2-week jolly, met somebody there, fell head over heels in love for the first time, had to go home, found out my job was starting like 2 months later than I thought, subletted my flat and bought a one-way ticket back out to the Philippines 2 days later. It was great.
Fantastic. Hang on, that's just a little bit of rewinding there. Finish your training, you're out to then you go.
I went for a jolly in Thailand because my friend was there and he was like, just come.
And then when did you meet
And then a week
the
into
love
that,
interest?
I met this person on the beach.
As you
And
do.
it was so weird. It was like, oh, there you are. It was like we'd met in another life.
Yeah.
I've never experienced
Yeah.
anything like it. It was so bizarre. And it was a woman that had never happened before. And she like sat down in front of me and I was just like, oh, I know you. There you are.
Whoa.
Where have you been?
Okay.
She was also from London, but we'd never met. And yeah, I was like, oh, this is what the love songs are on about. It was really late.
This is what they're doing.
I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
just completely.
Okay, so then what happened then?
Well, I then had to go home and she was moving to Australia. So I got home, was like really heartbroken, and then was like, there's actually no reason why I can't just go back out.
So you
And-
came all the way back then to go back out again?
Yeah, so I was home for about 2 weeks. And so
then-
then I flew back out to meet her.
What was it like?
Oh my God, it was magical.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It was so lovely.
But then has she moved to Australia?
Yeah,
And then that was just the end.
that was the end.
But is it the end, or is it like just
I don't know.
what does it mean?
I don't know.
Are you
I
in
wish I had the
contact?
answers. Sometimes, yeah. It's kind of hard when it's like nobody's fucked up and there's nothing's bad's happened.
Yeah.
It's just life is going in different directions. But definitely life changing, I would say.
Who are you now having experienced that you weren't before?
I think I was just a lot more open, and she just really changed how I sort of saw life and what I wanted to get from it. And in my mind, like in another universe, we're like happily married and living
Can that-
life.
But you're alive at the same time. Surely it's possible.
It is possible.
Can you not make the universe? Is that what you want to happen?
I don't know. It's so scary.
Why is it scary?
Because it would be such a big leap of faith to move across the world for somebody when I'm really happy here.
Yeah. Would she move here? Could she move here?
No, she's done with the UK.
So that's kind of sad though, that like that's, do you feel like you're always going to be comparing everything now to her though?
I don't know. I have such faith that what's for you won't pass you. And it might just be that it's meant to be, it's just not meant to be right now.
Yeah.
But it was so special, and it makes me so happy whenever I think about it.
That's
that it's
lovely.
like, some people will never get that. Like, what a
Yeah.
crazy thing to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's-
guess watch this space, I
Yeah.
suppose. Look how pretty that is.
It is
Sorry.
so pretty, isn't it? We should explain really that it's got dark.
It has
and
got
so
dark.
because there's a view over the city.
But look, you can see
And
Battersea Power Station through the trees there. That used to be a gay dogging site, and now it's a walled garden. Well, it was always a
Not still
walled
both.
garden.
Cannot be both. Get you a garden who can do both. That's what I say.
Amen. So pretty. In the summer, all the parakeets like fly at once to roost down there, and it's like this big green sort of tsunami.
What would your bench dedication say on it, by the way?
What would? That's such a good question.
She loved babies.
She loved babies.
And another seat doctor.
I would
needs
want
be
it to
called.
make people giggle. If you think about it right now, I'm touching your bum. Maybe that will.
Perfect. You know what's happened to me once? If you sit on enough benches, you also get someone who's was on their bench that was dedicated to them. So their partner had died and
Yeah.
had their two plaques, and then she had hers going so born, and then the not yet filled in death year
That is so cool.
on her own bench.
That's wicked.
So yeah.
So I could just get a holder bench.
Just get down. Maybe I'll get
Like Bagseed by
Yeah,
Ella,
yeah.
still alive.
Just get Ella still alive forever. Maybe just do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get you a bench. Or a dedication on a bench.
I'd love a bench.
Ella still alive. And then everyone could come and visit and be like, that was from this conversation.
Yeah, this
Ella
bitch
still alive.
won't die.
I quite like that because like, even if you died, heaven forbid,
Heaven forbid.
even if you died, it's like, yeah, you're still alive.
Yeah.
You know, like it still works.
That's why I like to always read the bench, because I feel like for that little minute the person lives on.
Yeah, exactly. Ella's still alive.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get that sorted.
I'd really appreciate it.
Okay, I wonder how much it costs.
Do you know? You have to call up Lambeth Council and ask them.
So, hi guys, I met a midwife in the park.
She's technically still alive.
Yeah, I said I'll get her one, and I'm a man of my word.
Well, I'm going to hold you to that now.
Let's say that I commit to doing this.
Yeah.
I'll shake your hand.
Yeah.
Should we do it?
Oh my God! That would make my life.
Is that a duck? Yeah.
It
No,
is
it's just a lone duck.
mallard.
To think that duck is like experiencing life as the duck.
It's alive, yeah.
No, but as in,
It
like
is
that duck
alive.
just flew over us and just didn't think about us at all. They were just totally focused on something else. So what does that mean we are? Do you know what I mean?
What, like we could be ducks?
I don't know. I feel like I've just I feel like a bit in I would say actually this is up there with the biggest shambles of a bench conversation, but entirely
Oh,
because
great. I
because
do
of me.
bring that out in
but
people.
entirely because of me.
I do bring that out in
I
people.
think maybe you obviously have helped, but like it's so mostly my doing.
Right, I've just derailed you.
Yesterday was a really like big day,
Okay.
So last night I barely slept, then I had to get up really early. So I was just like, I'm a bit just like blah 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 blah.
Scrambled.
Scramby, absolute scrambled cake. So that explains that. Okay, back to you. Okay, let's focus. How long have I got? I've got to go in about 10 minutes.
That's fine.
So dark. This is the darkest interview I've ever done now.
Wow.
This is dark. Oh, we can see stars now. Have you seen? There's
My
stars.
best friend and I actually in lockdown used to come here and we learnt like all the constellations.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and that
And
was,
of course, because there's fewer planes, right?
Yeah.
So better stars.
there was some good stars. And I used to
There's a lot
know
of stuff up
loads
there.
of the constellations, but now I know that's Polaris, I think, the North Star. Yeah.
There's a lot out there, isn't there?
There are quite a few, and sometimes you see a satellite.
There's a lot up there.
Yeah, it's best not to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I could just ask. I feel like there's so many things I want to ask you, and it's just like it's like the stars. It's
Yeah.
like, where do you even begin? You know,
Got
or where
an
do you
app.
even end? We know you're a midwife.
Yeah,
We know you fell in love.
yeah,
We know you're not currently in the same place as that lover. We know you don't necessarily want your own children, but you absolutely bloody love delivering the things.
Yeah.
We know like crosswords.
yeah.
We know we're going to get a bed sheet saying Ella's still alive.
If that happens, I will cack my pants. I could probably die happy. I'm so excited. Do you
Yeah,
think
really?
you could get it roped off so that only I can sit on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get around the clock guy.
Like
just
security. Yeah, and to
take
hold
that-
a brolly in case it rains.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. And back to the questions. I need to ask you more questions. What part of you do people not see?
I think people would think that I'm a very happy, bubbly person, which I am, but I feel things very intensely,
Yeah.
and I get very low.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
What does a low you look like?
Oh, just generally what you'd find on an NHS pamphlet.
Yeah.
You know, all of the things. I feel like pretty much everybody's on antidepressants these days.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I feel like everybody is.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like a generational thing or whatever? I don't know.
Maybe.
What generation are you?
I think I'm on the cusp.
Is that a generation? Is that a generation?
I don't know. I was born in
I'm cusp.
98. I think that's Gen
It's-
Z.
It's
I
Gen,
don't know.
It's Gen Cusp.
Gen cusp. I'm cuspy.
What am I saying? See, you got to be saying stupid things. Low
Something
low
that people-
mood.
low mood,
Antidepressants.
yeah.
So if you didn't take antidepressants, who would I be talking to now? Is
Well,
that,
she
is that a
probably
morally wrong
there
question?
would be a bench, but there'd just be a death date on it.
Oh my god! Seriously though? No.
Probably.
No.
I think so. There was some close calls when I was a lot younger.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Fuck! I know you said this. We haven't got long to go, and you just said that. Oh god! I mean, like, we can't end this on suicide chat, can we?
No.
No, we can't.
No.
But then it's like that's the problem with the art. You've derailed it.
Well, do you know?
Yeah, there's no way of getting a good arc in with you. It's like you're kind of like there's no. We should have done.
I'm just a flat
What we
lie.
should have done is like the suicide stuff in the middle.
In the middle. Well, you know, it never happened because
I'm really pleased it didn't.
my mum always used to say this thing to my dad because my dad is just a very rageful mental driver and has attended his fair share of speed awareness courses. And so she would always say when I was younger, before we would leave the house, she would say, picture us all at your funeral and drive sensibly. And it always stuck with me. And then I remember in a really dark time, that was what popped into my head. And because in the moment, I think when you're in that place, you sort of think, I'm doing everyone a favour here. And then when I was actually forced to really think about that image, and in my head that like, my mum was wearing something very chic, but in tears. And then I was like, oh no, they wouldn't be happy. And then I was like, I couldn't do that to them. I love them too much. So that's a good little hack.
That is a good little hack.
It's a good little
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Like, yeah. So I'm gonna have some more content warning on this one. Content warning:
Yeah.
shambles, suicide now. Well, I'm immensely glad that you are here
Me too.
and you're like giving so much greatness to the world.
I think I've been very lucky in life. I come from a really, really loving family. My parents have been married for like 36 years and they're still obsessed with each other.
That's sweet.
And I feel like so much love was poured into me
That's sweet.
that I want to like share it.
Yeah.
I want to pay it forward
That's
and like
lovely.
infect other people with it.
And you're going to do that. And you are doing it.
I hope
That's
so.
magic, isn't it?
It is magic.
I'm interested how you, yeah.
But I see magic every day. So
You do.
I do. I see actual magic every day.
Yeah. I mean, how should we end this? I don't know what to say now.
Okay.
Should we do a thing? Oh, maybe this is a weird thing to do. I sometimes do. Yeah, look, I sometimes do like what can we've already brain.
Have you got ADHD?
Probably. But let's just move on.
You seem like you do.
Yeah, I know. I think I respond to people like you particularly like.
Currently,
going.
though, we find each other.
You get me going like
Yeah.
that kind of. It's just like.
Just chaos bouncing off each other.
Yeah, exactly. So, right, these podcasts always end with one question,
Yeah.
the same question. Before that, sometimes I get people to like look out and say what they can see. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of done that. So what I do sometimes instead is, if you close your eyes, I can close my eyes too. Although it feels a bit weird to close your eyes in the dark. But if you like can picture a kind of scene from your life that you can describe in really vivid detail, can you do that for me? Mm-hmm. Is there anything standing out?
Yes.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
Do this? Can you do this?
I can.
Please?
I am thinking about a different park on a different bench.
Traitor.
I know, slut. My best friend and I, we would go to this park in lockdown and we'd have all of London to ourselves because we'd walk late at night and it was just deserted. And we'd sit in this park, and from this park, you could see the place that I now work. And at the time, I was applying to start a midwifery course. And we used to sit there and we'd say, Ella's going to work here, and my best friend, he's going to work where he currently works. And we would just we just kept putting it out there.
Yeah.
And then it
happened.
And now, like 5 years later, we're both where we wanted to be. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful end of the story. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Beautiful end of the story.
Wow, is that the title sequence?
That should be the theme track. It's a beautiful end of the story. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, well, so we've done that. I mean, what's it been like doing this for you?
Oh, it's been great. I've just been able to yap about myself for like an hour.
Perfect.
I feel kind of rude that I haven't asked you any
No.
questions.
No.
is the only thing.
They
I like
know
it.
about me. Like, I've just bits and throughout the whole series of these things, it's like I drip, bits drip out. Tit bits.
Tit bits.
Tit bits.
Okay. Just
Bits
little
of tits.
Bits of tits.
Oh God, there's so much of this that's going to be chopped out. God, just saying, I feel like I'm drunk. Right, final question. Final question. Do you have that effect of like making people feel like they're drunk?
Yeah,
you can't see. You're trying to do the Christmas. Oh no,
I'm
you can't see it
fold
now.
up, but
Fold up your
so I've
crossword,
still
mate.
got two that, and I'm
Fold
going to
out.
the pub in a bit, and then the crossword club will review the day's progress and help each other out.
I love that.
Yeah.
With the 68-year-old mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, last question is, or you kind of just revealed it a bit, but what are you going to do next?
Well, I'm on my annual leave, so I'm going to go to my nice pub, going to get a Guinness, do the crossword with my friends, go on a walk.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
of course,
then-
the data started for you. I forgot.
It's morning.
Yeah.
And then I'll just go home and go to bed.
Yeah. Okay, great.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Do you sing?
No. No, I'm not actually allowed to sing in my house because it's so bad. My sister's got the voice of an angel.
Oh.
She's in like a big band.
Oh, wow.
Insane.
Big band.
Yeah, like a swing band.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like she's in I don't know. What's a big band? What is a big band? I'm sure I can think of a big band now.
I don't know. All I can think of is One Direction.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
No, she's not in One Direction.
The only thing I know about your sister, she's not in One Direction. Keep it information.
No, she's got an incredible voice.
Okay.
I got the personality.
So she could
I guess.
sing. It's a beautiful land of the
Yeah, she could.
Du-du-du.
Du-du-du.
Du-du-du, 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 du-du-du.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Just a couple of drunks on a bench. What? Okay. So let's end this. You say 5 words, random words that come to your head, and that's how this is going to end. So like in order.
Yeah, but you've been saying this is how this is going to end for like the last 3 outro
I know. I just want
practices.
to. I just thinking a funny way we could end this. I think maybe that's what I've just come up with.
Okay, and do I go and then you go, or I'm just saying
No.
5 words?
Your words, 5 words, and then the last one you just like say it with real vigor.
Okay, no, I can do this.
You can do this. Come on, mate.
Armillary sphere. Look it up.
Okay, keep going.
Korea.
The country.
No! Like your job! Korea, like the country. Am I finishing theatrically?
Yeah, you're only 2 words in. Come on.
Bench. Bomb! That was the 5th one.
That's a 4.
No, it wasn't. I said armillary sphere. And then I said career. And then I said career. And then I said
sorry.
bench. And then I said bum. I love the word bum. Such a good word. Have you been recording?
Yeah, don't worry, it has to be recorded. Okay, bye. We say bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Some are called to the abbey, some are called to the sea, some are called to the sciences and the making of machines, some are called to deliver babies, just come in the bee. She was called to declare this kid's alive and full of beans. She's got friends of all ages, friends of all walks. They crossword the pages on the benches in the park. Stars are coming out and yet the day's only begun. For she was called to declare your babe's alive and full of Hand a baby to her mother, watch her soul leave and return, watching more than one person being born. Stars are going out and yet her life has just begun. She was called to declare your babe's alive and full of sun. Called to declare your babe's alive and full of sun. One day when it seems the midwife's gone and left this world, find her name inscribed upon the bench where she once curled. Listen to Polaris as it whispers from on high, Ella isn't gone.